should brush my hair before this. Looks like I just got out of bed. Whatever. Alright, let's go. Hey, what is up, guys? It is me, Icy Movies, and I'm finally wearing a Dragon Ball shirt this time. I don't know why I didn't last time. I have like 7 Dragon Ball shirts. Thanks, Mom. But let's get started. I'm not gonna make the intro like 10 minutes this time, like I did with the last video, because a lot of you stopped after 2 minutes in. Thanks. I can see when everybody stops watching the video. 2 minutes in. My grandma got farther than most of you. Thanks, guys. Loyal fans. So I finally watched the first 5 Dragon Ball Z movies, and I've heard a lot of negative stuff about them, but damn, they were so cool. Because I usually hear negative stuff about at least the first couple ones, like, oh, Tree of Might Turles is so stupid, he's a dumb villain, you know, stuff like that. But I was actually very happy. I was very interested, I was very entertained watching these movies, so I'm very excited to watch them, and I already watched them. I'm very excited to review them, and then I'm gonna tell you guys about how good they are. So, let's just jump right into movie 1, which is, The Dead Zone! So The Dead Zone is the first Dragon Ball Z movie, but don't get it confused with the filler arc in the anime called the Garlic Jr. Saga, because that's a sequel to the movie. I don't know why they added that, because I didn't get it, because I watched the show before the movie. Oops. I didn't really enjoy the show part that much, probably because I didn't get it, because I didn't watch the movie. Maybe I'll go back and rewatch it. I don't know. So this movie is about Garlic Jr., and he's a tiny little Emperor Pilaf ripoff. He uses the Dragon Balls to wish for immortality and try to get revenge on Kami for his father. So, you see, Kami had some competition to become the Earth's guardian, and it was Garlic Jr.'s father. Kami was chosen because evil was sensed in Garlic Sr. Well, like father, like son, I guess, Garlic Jr. now uses the Dragon Balls to become immortal so he can win in a fight against Kami. But since Gohan, little baby Gohan, used to have a Dragon Ball on his hat in the early stages of the show, Garlic Jr. kidnaps him in the process, and that's where Goku finally comes in. So let's start with the positives first, because honestly there aren't many. Hey, I said I enjoyed most of them, not all of them. Anyway, I think Garlic Jr.'s reason to get revenge on Kami, it's pretty cool. I mean, the True HQ, he didn't like it that much, but I actually really liked the reason. I thought it was cool. And what I like most about him was because now he's being stuck in the dead zone now, because he technically cannot die, so that immortality came back and it bit him in the ass. But not really, since I guess he technically escaped the dead zone in the filler arc, which kind of sucks, and it just 360s one of the few positives about the movie, but okay. And then secondly, and lastly, Kami fought, which we haven't seen in a while, and we won't see again as far as I know. But he shot lasers out of his eyes, and it reminded me of that Barnacle Boy meme, which I thought was really funny. I really liked it. I thought that was kind of cool. Sucks we never see it again in the show. Okay, so we got the cool stuff out of the way, now on to the negatives. First, I thought the whole movie's pacing, it was a little bad. It had this very, like, in-your-face opening scene, but it severely slowed down. It had a bit of a lackluster ending, with not much that I really remember. Except for Kami fighting for a little, and there was one scene where Gohan was peeing on Krillin's bald head. I thought that was kind of gross. Next, the biggest problem for me, actually, which is like the main part of Dragon Ball Z. In my last video, I said Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball, the main part isn't the fights. Well, Dragon Ball Z, the main part of the show is how cool the fights are. The power scaling, especially in Super and Z. Like, near the ending of Super, it just becomes more of like a, look how powerful this character can be, look how cool this fight is. And I'm not saying there's a problem with that. I'm just saying if your fights aren't good, then it's not a good movie. It's not a good Dragon Ball movie. Like, you can have a good story and I'll be like, yeah, this is good. but I'm not going to give it that good of a rating. Even if the story is good, the fights, if they're not good, I'm not really going to rate it that high, because I go into Dragon Ball expecting these fights, and if I don't get a cool one, then I'm not entertained. I'm sorry. I like to see Goku fighting and stuff. Not to say that I don't like to see them just have a normal life, because a lot of these movies actually start out with just normal stuff for a couple minutes, and I really enjoy that, but, I don't want to have just that, or like lame little spars. I want to see something awesome, something that can make me go, whoa, oh my god, which is a lot of stuff that actually happens in later movies. I will get to them, and I will try not to freak out while I talk about them. Anyway, so the fights, they weren't that good. They were pretty lackluster, and it being early DBZ is no excuse. The original Dragon Ball movies are some really good looking fights, but even if the fights aren't that good, there's some more problems with the movie, but that one is just my biggest one, and that's what really took me out of enjoying the Dead Zone. So this one is a little unpopular, please don't get mad at me, but I don't like Gohan. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't like Gohan, and he's a big problem in this movie. I don't like Gohan fans even more. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Gohan fans, whoever you are. Let me explain though. I don't like Kid Gohan, and that also applies to Cell Saga Gohan too. I love the fights, I like him fighting, he's really cool, but I don't like him fighting after that. I feel like he shouldn't have fought after that. He hates fighting in the show, and the show just keeps bringing him back to fight when he doesn't really have to, he doesn't really do much. I just feel awful for him. I mean, he hates fighting. He says it every single episode. I remember Young going, oh, Daddy, I don't like to fight, stuff like that. And, he just wants to live happy. He's got a wife. He's got a smoking hot babe wife, Fidel. And then he's got a little kid, Pan. And he's got a freaking rich, loaded Mr. Satan. So, I think he shouldn't fight. He doesn't have to fight. They're like, Goku's a million times stronger. Stop making him fight. That's besides the point, though. He's really annoying in this movie, and he does that thing. You know the thing that he does. That's how he took down, It didn't take down Raditz, but that's how he got Raditz off of him. In a couple movies this actually happens. He screams, Daddy! And then he lets out this random burst of energy, and it just takes down Garlic Jr., and I thought that was really stupid. Goku does all this to save his son, and all his son could have done is scream, Daddy! And then boom! Garlic Jr. would have died. But, okay, well, not died, but, he would have backed off or something. I thought that was dumb. I don't like when Gohan does that. I don't like that. It's kind of lame. Even for early Gohan, it's lame and it's lazy writing. So, in all, I just didn't like this movie that much. It was kind of lame. Gohan is just annoying, just like in the show. Well, early Gohan, I mean. So I'd say skip it, because you don't really need to watch it, since this isn't a trilogy like the original Dragon Ball movies. So, on to the next one, which is... So the second movie on this list is The World's Strongest. It's about Dr. Cochin. He's a new character, and he's a famous scientist, according to Bulma. Now, Dr. Cochin is using the Dragon Balls to wish back Dr. Wheelo, an even more famous scientist. I guess he's more of an infamous scientist, because they did evil experiments on people, according to Bulma. Anyway, so Dr. Cochin revives him, and he puts his giant brain in this big mech, and they go to the Kame house, and they kidnap Roshi, because when Dr. Wheelo was alive, Roshi was the strongest fighter of all time. So they go kidnap him, and now Goku has to save him, and stop Dr. Wheelo. Now, this movie isn't the best, but it is much more enjoyable than Dead Zone, that's for sure. And it had much more interesting ideas and concepts, like, for example, them being frozen for years and thinking Roshi is the strongest. I thought that was kind of cool. They didn't just think, oh, he's got a high power level, he's the strongest, and they went to go get Goku or something. That'll be lame. But, the Roshi thing was kind of cool, because it's not just, oh no, they're going for Goku, what's gonna happen? It's, oh, they're going for Roshi, who's not that strong anymore. They also kidnap Bulma. That puts a more of a stake, like, oh no, they're gonna hurt these people if Goku isn't careful. I also enjoyed the fights more. It took a while to get going, but it had some very memorable moments. My most memorable was probably Dr. Kochin, and he got his arm ripped off, and revealing it to be a minigun, and he was trying to shoot at Krillin, and I thought that was really sick. Also, this takes place after Goku went to go see King Kai, so he knew Kaioken, which made for some really cool fights. He also knew Spirit Bombs, and he did that mini Spirit Bomb on Dr. Relo. I don't know how to describe it that much, but if you play Fighters, it's quarter circle back A? Yeah, it's quarter circle back A, and it does that thing. He does the Spirit Bomb, and it, like, lifts you up into the air, and it's like... I thought that was really cool, how they did that. They also did this group Kamehameha. It was Goku, Krillin, Piccolo, Roshi, and they all did this giant Kamehameha wave, and it was really cool. I really enjoyed that. And I think for early DBZ, it's got some great and really entertaining fights compared to the first one. Now for my problems. I mean, there aren't really many, but the few it has, it's kind of a big problem. It's really boring. A lot of the movie is exposition, and a lot of telling instead of showing. Most of the movie is Dr. Kochin talking to Bulma or Wheelo or something about what he's planning to do, but it's forgiven for its cool fights. I just thought that anything that wasn't a fight wasn't very interesting at all. So in all, I think The World's Strongest isn't the best Dragon Ball movie by any means, but it certainly isn't the worst. I recommend you watch it if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan. You know, but skip it if you really want. I don't know, if you're trying to get, like, the best, then I'm gonna make a video, like, ranking them, or you can check my letterbox out for what I think is the best Dragon Ball movies. So you can check those. So if you're looking for the best Dragon Ball movies, I'd say you can skip this one, and, you know, but if you have to watch it, if you're watching all of them, then it's fine. You're not gonna be too upset watching it. I think it's really fun, for some of the parts without the exposition. So I'd say, like, I don't know, watch it with a friend and you can guys talk over the exposition or something, because it's not really that important. But, you know, if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, check it out. Why not? So, on to the next movie, which I actually really enjoyed, and that is... This really hurts my throat. I hope y'all are watching this and liking it and be like, dang, Icy Movies, you are the best movie review channel of all time. I love your videos. I hope that's what all of you are thinking right now as you're watching this video. Anyway, movie 3. So I thought this movie, Tree of Might, I thought it would be my favorite out of the 5. And it was pretty damn close. I love this one a lot. It had everything. It had this cheesy villain, this over-the-top plot, and of course, my man, Yamcha. For a little bit. His ass gets kicked pretty early. But still, it's got my boy Yamcha doing the famous Spirit Ball. Alright guys, test one of the Spirit Ball. Spirit Ball! Whoa! Oh, this is awesome! Let's test this out. Oh, that's sick! Whoa! Whoa! Oh my god, my TV! I can pay that back with, like, my YouTube revenue, right? So the plot about this one is a low-class Saiyan. His name is Turles. He comes to Earth and he plants a tree. And you think, wow, that guy's a real nice dude. He's an environmentalist. He's such an awesome man. Turles, you're my new favorite character. Well, you're wrong! It's the opposite of what a tree should be. See, it's an evil tree, right? So it sucks energy from the planet, and it grows these fruits. And if you eat the fruit, you get all your energy, and you get super strong. It like unlocks your max potential. And you'll never guess what happens after that. Goku has to go stop him. Who would have guessed? Now, let's start with the negatives. There are not many, because I very much enjoyed this movie. As you can see from the title card, I gave this a 4 out of 5. But first, it's Turles' design. He's literally he just looks like Goku, but he's got like a darker skin tone. That's kind of it. His design's really lame because all low class Saiyans, they look the same apparently. I don't know. That doesn't seem very right to me, but we're gonna roll with it. It didn't take away from the movie that much. It wasn't that bad. And I didn't really have any other complaints, though. I really liked this one, and now I'm going to tell you why, because it was a good movie. I thought this movie was great, and the main reason is because it actually had, like, a deeper message than most of the movies do. This one is about the planet, the environment, and, like, how the main priority as Earthlings, and in this case, Saiyans as well, or... No, Saiyans. There's two. There's Goku and Gohan. Is to protect our home. And the very first movie, Curse of the Blood Rubies, had a very similar message, but I like this one more because it not only told the message in a much more interesting way, but the fights were awesome and sick, and they made me go, whoa, awesome! See, that's what I'm talking about. That was the one. This is one of them that made me go, whoa, awesome. Turles had this awesome move. It was like the Galactic Donut, except it's not as cool, but it was still awesome. It's called the Kill Driver. And it was this giant ring, and it was made to attack Gohan in his Ozaru, or Grade 8 form. The attack missed, and it sucks because I really wanted to see it land because it blew up a giant piece of rock in the background, and I was like, dang, I want to see the Grade 8 get hit with that. That would be sick. But we didn't. Lame. Oh well. Maybe in another movie or game or something. I don't know. Hopefully. I also like the concept of Icarus. I don't really know if that's a hot take. I don't know if people like Icarus or not. My friends didn't like him too much, but I thought he was kind of cute. And he helps calm down Ozaru Gohan, and he lets out the side of Gohan that I enjoy, which was really cool, especially since he was still in his Grade 8 form. So, like, it shows the potential of Grade 8. Like, yeah, you can control it. It's not common. So I thought that was really cool. Last good thing I liked about this movie was the ending battle. And it was my second favorite in this, like, movie series so far out of the early Dragon Ball movies and, like, 1 through 5. This is my second favorite in the movie series, like, favorite attack. It was a very close second, if I may add. It was awesome. So, Goku does the Spirit Bomb with almost no energy from the Earth left, and it doesn't work. So, we thought it'd be like, oh, he's gonna do another World's Strongest thing. Ugh, lame. But it doesn't work. So, he eats the Tree of Might, eats the fruit from the Tree of Might. He has his beam struggle with Turles, and that was awesome. He ultimately wins, and it sends Turles flying through the tree. Like, he went from the bottom of the tree, got blasted up through the tree, and it was so cool. I got out of my seat and I cheered. I loved it. I absolutely thought that was the coolest thing in the series so far. And then I saw one of the other movies that you're gonna hear about. But yeah, so I thought that was awesome. So overall, I love this movie a lot. It had a great message about protecting the environment. It was told in a fun and very action-packed way, and I definitely recommend this one. Even for people who aren't Dragon Ball fans, you might like this. Like, if you just like fighting stuff, you might like it. I don't know. Hopefully, you should. It's a great movie. But let's go on to the next one, which is... So I've noticed a little bit of a trend. These movies get better and better until this one. Thanks, Lord Slug. More like Lord... dumb. Got him. Look at me. I'm so funny and creative, and that's why you guys are subscribed to me. I hope. I didn't really enjoy this one as much as Tree of Might or the next one I'm going to review, but I was better than Pilaf Jr. Garlic Jr. Seriously, like, they not only made him look like Pilaf, but they got the same exact voice actor doing the exact same voice. Really? It's a little lazy. They're not even the same race. Anyway, Lord Slug. Lord Slug is about a Namekian coming to Earth to invade it and get rid of the sunlight so his henchmen can live on it because his henchmen can't live in the sunlight or something. I don't know. They look human. I just thought they were humans, but I guess they're not. So Goku comes in and attempts to kick their ass. So this one's biggest problem was the same in the Dead Zone. It was lackluster, has a lame ending, but a very in-your-face opening. Even with, like, false Super Saiyan coming in to fight Lord Slug, and Lord Slug becoming a giant Super Namekian going really big, the fights were still not interesting, and that really says something. I also didn't like the part about whistling. Thought that was kind of lame. I mean, it makes sense. Namekians have hypersensitive ears, but I still kind of thought it was dumb. You know, the whistling part. Oh well. I liked it more than Gohan doing a daddy and releasing a big burst of energy. It was kind of dumb. The thing that I liked the least about this were Lord Slug's minions. You know, that guy, he's like, in out, zigzag, double whammy, you know, him.
Watch closely, I'll do zigzag, in out, double whammy!
They got on my nerves. They really grinded my gears.
It grinds my gears.
It was good to see Goku and Piccolo, you know, appear and then kick their asses. I really liked that. Now on to what I enjoyed from this movie, which is what I just said. It's Piccolo and Goku's fights with the minions. I thought they were pretty cool, especially Piccolo. Piccolo gets really good fights in this movie. And a little back, I read that Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, his favorite is Piccolo, my boy Piccolo right here. And I can really see why. He's really cool, especially in the movies. And also, the fight with Lord Slug, it wasn't that great, but it did have its moments. Like when he went Super Namekian, and Goku ran up his arm, and then he blasted him right in the face. I thought that was so cool. And then Goku and Piccolo, they shared energy, and Goku pulls like this King Piccolo, and he just impales him. I thought that was really cool. I love that moment, because I like when they reference original Dragon Ball, I guess. Yeah, I thought that was cool. Overall, I think Lord Slug had some memorable moments, but in all was kind of lackluster to me. I don't know, I feel like this is a hot take. I feel like people really enjoyed this one. My friends who watched this movie, they enjoyed it. The True HQ, he liked it. I don't know, I just thought it was kind of lame, especially compared to the last movie, Tree of Might. And I'd say this one is definitely worth a watch. I gave it a 3 out of 5 because I wasn't that enthralled by it, but I feel like other people would really like it. But I just say don't expect too much, especially after Tree of Might, because that one was awesome and this one isn't as awesome. So, on to the next one, which, out of these 5 in this series, is the best one I've reviewed, and right now is currently sitting as my second favorite Dragon Ball movie, which is... Okay, so right off the bat, I'm gonna say if you like Dragon Ball and you haven't seen Cooler's Revenge, change that right now. It is so good. It is right now my second favorite Dragon Ball movie ever, and the best one I've reviewed so far. So I added a spoiler warning to the beginning, but like just in case I'm gonna have spoilers. So, you know, spoiler warning, another spoiler warning, I guess. I don't know much about the other Dragon Ball movies. At the time I'm filming this, the day I am filming this right now, I saw Dragon Ball 6 through 9, and this one is still my second favorite. So, I don't know. I said I don't know if I'll give any other movies 5 stars out of the Dragon Ball Z movies, but I gave one a 5 star. But it wasn't as good as Cooler's Revenge. Cooler's Revenge is still really awesome. So Cooler's Revenge is a movie taking place right after Goku beats Frieza and comes back to Earth. Frieza's brother, Cooler, finds out about his defeat and he blames it on Frieza's arrogance and overconfidence and says he won't make the same mistake. So he goes to Earth, he avenges his brother by trying to kill Goku. But Goku is not going down without a fight. Now, when I said Tree of Might had my second favorite fight, I was referring to this one being my favorite so far. I adored it, but it might change in later films. We'll see. I hope it does, because I really don't want this movie to peak at, like, the 5th movie out of the, I still have, after movie 5, I think I still have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, I have 8 more Dragon Ball Z movies, and then I have 3 more. So out of the next 11 films, I have to watch after 5. I really don't want this one to peak. Even for the Dragon Ball movies, which is like the next 8, I still don't want them to peak at 5. But, you know, I'll stay hopeful. I will stay hopeful. I really don't want it to peak, but I don't know how this fight can be topped because it was so sick. Now, again, let's start with the negatives. There really aren't that many. The only complaint I have is Salsa, and he had like this fake Spanish accent. Well, okay, so the THQ said it was French, but I don't think so because his name's Salsa, and why would they give Salsa, like salsa, a French accent, and also it kind of sounds Spanish, but I don't know if this is racist or not, so I'm just gonna move on. The accent was fake, and it was bad, and I didn't really like it, but he wasn't in the movie that much, so I don't care too much. First, Cooler as a character was so cool.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
He criticizes Frieza for being overconfident, yet he acts the same exact way without even realizing it, despite, feeling like a polar opposite to Frieza. Acting calm and collective, not dropping, constant insults. He gloats about himself like Frieza does, calls them foolish monkeys or something like that. Hello, monkeys, you know that thing that he does, Frieza. But Cooler is like, he feels like a completely different character, but he has the same motives. So he still feels like he's part of Frieza's family. Even if he didn't constantly say, I am Frieza's superior, he'd still feel like Frieza's brother. Also, for 1991, dude, the animation is mwah! It's very nice, as Salsa apparently would say, since he's French now. That's Italian. That can be French. Slap a mustache and a little French hat on there. I think that could be French, right? And I thought the beautiful animation, it really helped make the cool moments so memorable. There were so many moments that really stuck with me, and it was 2 in particular. The first was Cooler killing a bird, and then it made Goku remember, he's like, oh, my friends will die if I don't win. So he lets out this huge scream, and it breaks stone, and the stone cracks, and then Cooler's like, oh my goodness, or something, whatever Cooler's catchphrase is. And then another one was when Goku was doing this big super Kamehameha, and then Cooler was just flying through it like it was nothing. And I was like, oh my god! So that's his full power at that moment. Full power, Kamehameha, and Cooler just went through it like it was absolutely nothing. And that was so crazy to me. I think out of the first 5 movies, this one is easily the best. But don't just take it from me. I watched all these movies with the True HQ and asked if he wanted to come talk about his favorite Dragon Ball Z movie, and this was his choice. So, let's hear what he has to say. Take it away, famous gaming YouTuber, the True HQ.
In all honesty, I think Cooler is one of my top Dragon Ball movie villains of all time. I really like the idea of expanding the very small tree in Frieza's family. He comes off as a very calm and collected character with the whole anything Frieza can do, I can do better attitude. Honestly, the best thing about him is how much colder and crueler he is than his brother, stating that Frieza always competed with him to be the best, and that he would have killed him off sooner or later if not for Goku. And then the brutality. He is shown to beat Goku to a pulp with no room for dialogue exchanges, and even then he's mostly calm and collected. A villain who barely loses his cool and is able to deliver a brutal beatdown is one of the best combinations for a great villain like Cooler.
So there you have it. This is a must-watch for any Dragon Ball Z fan. And if you haven't seen this, please watch it. And if you already have and you didn't like it, I'd say watch it again and after seeing this, and hopefully your mind will change. Maybe, hopefully, please. So that concludes my reviews of the first 5 Dragon Ball Z movies. I hope you enjoyed, and if you want to know my quick thoughts about the next 4 movies before this video drops, be sure to click the link in the description for my letterboxd list ranking all of the Dragon Ball movies. See you in the next video where I do movies 6 through 9. Peace out!